What's going on, YouTube? Today I'm going to be de-rusting some of the components that were in my car, specifically like the mounts for the pedals. So I have the brake pedal and the clutch pedal mount. So what I did was I already took off the sensors and stuff, by the way. So these are brake pedal and clutch pedal position sensors. Obviously the longer one is the brake pedal. So when these go in, they send that signal. That's the wiring for the brake pedal. And so here we have the brake pedal all stripped down. All the parts and components are already in the bottom. I went to Home Depot and I picked up some, what is this, 10 gauge wire, I think. Yeah, I picked up some 10 gauge wire, about 10 feet of that. Picked up some steel wire and some steel mesh. So these are 1/2-inch holes. Let's bring it up. So I'm hoping that this is going to be enough to hold some of these smaller components. I don't know. Obviously they can go through straight like that, but if they sit on it, they're not going to fall through unless they shift, which I'm hoping they don't. But if they do, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to use this tub filled up with water, and I'm going to use the process of electrolysis to remove rust from these components. I just didn't feel like taking a wire wheel to them or soaking them in vinegar. Vinegar doesn't really work, apparently. I could do CLR, but I feel like CLR isn't as strong as this. So I'm gonna fill this up with water, maybe 10 gallons. Just enough to submerge it. I'm gonna use this washing soda because that's what they say to use. And I'm gonna make a basket out of this, so that way it'll fit into this tub, and that way it can carry all the parts to be submerged. And then I will have got a piece of scrap wood from Home Depot. I'm gonna put one of these through the wood, hang the basket on here through the eyelet, and power everything through that. So I'll shoot an update once everything's figured out. All right, YouTube, it took me a little longer than expected, but I got my little electrolysis setup ready. So here's what I did. Made a basket out of the stainless steel fencing that I got from the store, suspended by an eye hook. I have the steel wire, suspending it off the bottom, and I have all my parts that I want to be de-rusted in the basket. So the negative is going to go to this terminal right here, and then the positive is going to attach to one of these eyes right here. And this is my little helper. So yeah, I'll check back in when everything is going. All right, YouTube, so this is what my setup looks like. I had to use 10 gallons of water. So 5 gallons of water, filled it up to about halfway. And I wanted to make sure that I use as much water as possible, you know, within reason. If I had put another 5 gallons in here, then chances are I would have overflown or been too close to the connectors. So I'll go over my setup in detail in the comments. But yeah, everything's connected. I'm gonna put the washing soda in. So it's sodium carbonate, and it calls for a 1/2 cup of sodium carbonate per 5 gallons. So I use 10 gallons, so I should put a whole cup of sodium carbonate. So I'll put that in there now.
Boom! 2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
If you use too much, it's not a bad thing. Also, when you do this, make sure that if you have any pets, do not do this near your pets, because this will be powered, and that would be a bad way to lose your dog. Right, Porty? We want you around. Please be careful with your kids around this stuff. Do this outside because of the fumes that it may produce. I'm gonna do it right outside on my patio. You want to be in the video so bad, huh? My little helper has been helping me put this contraption together, so we're gonna see how it turns out. I'm gonna de-rust some stuff. Actually, I should get off to feed him real quick. But yeah, I'll update after it's already running, and I put the sodium carbonate in. So y'all take it easy. Peace. All right, YouTube, I'm all set. About to turn this thing on now. So a couple important things. Make sure you hook everything up before giving it power. So the negative goes to the piece that you want to de-rust, and then the positive goes to the piece that you're sacrificing, pretty much. So I put the negative on, put the positive on. Also important, very important, you don't want what you're de-rusting to touch what's connected to the positive. So I went to do my checks all around. It's a little tight, but luckily this stuff isn't going to move. Also, another important thing, next time I would put the sodium carbonate in to the water first, and then mix it up, make sure everything's mixed up, and then drop my little bucket essentially that I made into the water, so make sure everything is distributed evenly. But yeah, so I'm about to hook this up, plug it in, and let's see what happens. All right. Alright, we're on and popping, and already you can see the bubbles coming off of the little bucket that I made. So that lets you know that this is working. So again, this is live, so you shouldn't be touching anything once it's already on. If you need to make some adjustments or anything, make sure that you unplug your power source. For me, I can just turn it off from here, but to be completely safe, I would unplug it from the wall. Excuse that beeping, but that's just gonna happen as long as it's on. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up all these bubbles because of the sunlight out here, but you can even hear it too. Okay, well, we'll let this sit, and I'll come back to this in maybe an hour or two. All right, YouTube, it's been like 40 minutes roughly. So this is how we're looking right now. That's what you want to see. You want to see the rust floating to the top of the water. Kind of set it and forget it. I stayed nearby just in case I needed to disconnect anything or whatever, but ran into a small issue. So the charger I was using ended up dying. And mind you, this is meant just to, you know, jump batteries and stuff, so it couldn't take the continuous voltage, so it drained it. So I'll show you what I'm about to do. All right, so I'm gonna use an old laptop charger to give it constant power from the wall, or from the extension cord that I'm plugging into the wall, instead of the battery jumper that I was using, because I need some constant voltage. So I don't know if you can make that out, but this is 19.5 volts at 3.33 amps, 65 watt HP charger for an old laptop. And so here's a diagram right here. I'll try to put like a picture during this video, but this shows like the layout of the wires in the cord. So the negative wire is on the outside, and the positive wire is on the inside. And there's also like a, I guess it stands for sensor wire, but it looks like it just shows like the light for when you plug your charger in. So I'm stripping the end, and just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the regular laptop charger. The inside, you can't really tell, but there's like a single prong in there. But based off that diagram, this is the cable going to the outside. Oh, that's not focusing. This is a cable going to the outside, so that's the black cable. So the black would be your negative in this case, and then the white cable is going to the inside. So yeah, I'll continue stripping this, and this will be what I will be using for my power source. Okay, so here's my updated setup. Hopefully y'all can hear me. This wind is a little crazy. So I stripped the laptop charger. The black from the laptop charger is the negative, which is what you want to attach to the piece that you're trying to get the rust off of. And the white lead from the laptop charger is the positive. Now this blue cord doesn't really do anything. I just have it tied up out of the way because I don't have like a wire nut or anything to put on there. But that shouldn't affect anything. We should be good to go. So let's plug it in and see what happens. Alright man, so this thing is cooking up. It's got about 8 volts running through it. So I thought it'd be more than that, but I guess there's some kind of drop off with the water or whatever. But yeah man, I'll leave this running, and I'll probably take it out after about another hour, see where we're at, wipe the parts off, and go from there. Alright YouTube, I forgot to film this video right after I took it out yesterday, but I left it for an additional hour running off of the modified laptop charger. Oh, good morning. Yeah, I left it running for another hour after I put it on the modified laptop charger. And then when I took it off, it was already dark. So I'll show you what it looks like, or what it looked like when I took it off. So I had it running a total of 2 hours. So this is what it looks like. You can see a lot of that rust is on the surface. It didn't really attract to the metal the way that I thought it would. I thought it would pull more to the sheets. So yeah, let me take this out and see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what we're looking like after 2 hours. Hopefully the camera picks all this up, but yeah, it looks really good. I pulled it straight up out the water, so a lot of the rust that was on the surface it's just sitting on the top of these parts. It actually worked really well. I should have took some report pictures of some of the smaller hardware, but yeah, this worked really well. This is worth the cost of setup. So all I really have to do is rinse this off, and I shouldn't have to rinse it again. We'll see. But yeah. Okay, so took off a lot of the rust. I'm excited for how well this worked. I want to run it back through to get some of this stuff. But yeah, overall, took off a lot of the rust. I already rinsed it in another tub. This stuff you can see just wipes right off. This stuff kind of does too on this nut. But I'm gonna run it through one more time, and after that I should be good to go. Just to show you how much of the rust was pulled off of the parts and onto the piece of sheet metal I was using as a sacrificial anode. It's a lot, man. And so, like I said, I try to fit as much water in as possible to give it that much more surface area. Obviously without submerging the actual connection. And then having to worry about this shifting. So I just hung it up on the side with a little eye hook. Wait from there. Let's see what the other side looks like. Yeah, a lot of rust. Okay. All right, YouTube. So everything came out really good. Everything got stripped off. The metal components that I put in there. I took a stainless steel brush to some of these smaller ones just to clean them up a little more. But yeah, I'm really excited. Well, really happy with how everything turned out. So all the hardware stripped down, good to go. This was like the main thing that I was concerned about. So they turned out really good. All this rust came off. I really have no complaints at all. When I finished doing, this is the one for this is the brake mount. And this is the clutch mount. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that backwards. This is the clutch one. There's a little spring right there. But yeah, these came out really well. No complaints about the process. When you do it though, once it's finished, the rust will be off of these, but it'll be sitting on the surface of them. So you're gonna have to rinse them. What I did was I took them out, rinsed them, and then there was like a little bit of black film. So I sat them in some CLR, which CLR wasn't gonna take off the rust the way that I wanted it to be taken off. So that's why I didn't initially just go with CLR. This was really easy to set up. Just a little tedious. The hardest part was making this basket. Other than that, everything was straightforward. But yeah, so I'm drying these off now, and then I'm going to paint them with some black Rust-Oleum before they go back in the car, because I just don't want to. I don't want to just put the bare metal back in the car. And I have some black Rust-Oleum paint anyway, so might as well use it. But yeah, so good to go. So I'm gonna end this video here since it's beautiful outside. Try to do some more stuff on the car. But if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop me a like, drop a comment, let me know what you liked about it or what you thought of it. If you feel like this could help somebody derusting their stuff, feel free to tag them in it. Yeah, stay tuned for the next videos coming about this build, and I'll see y'all another time. Peace.